If you main Mario, then you're in your late 30s and your favorite move is the Flood. If you main Donkey Kong, your favorite move is the Down Taunt and you like to play dirty. If you main Link, you're willing to call it a total victory as long as one thing goes your way. If you main Samus, you cry every time you take damage. If you main Dark Samus, I assume you chose this fighter ironically. If you're a Yoshi main, I assume you're the only player who knows how to have fun while playing competitively. If you're a Kirby main, I assume your favorite thing to do is spit your opponent off the stage, even though you're terrible at doing so. If you're a Fox main, I assume this has been the case since Melee and you've never even played Star Fox. If you main Pikachu, you are unwilling to take risks, because otherwise you would just use Pichu instead. If you main Luigi, I assume you've never taken a stock with his down taunt, and it secretly eats you up inside. If you main Ness, then choosing Little Mac literally causes you to die. If you main Captain Falcon, you're just cool. Like actually cool. If you're a Jigglypuff main, you're what's wrong with the world. If you're a Peach main, you pretend that you're only playing for fun, but you literally only care about winning. For Daisy, same thing as Peach, except you prefer brunettes. If you're a Bowser main, you're likely the oldest person in your friend group, and you're also the biggest idiot. If you main Ice Climbers, you're a liar. This is no one's main. If you main Sheik, you probably haven't even played Ocarina of Time. It's all about winning for you. If you main Zelda, you deny having the best Final Smash in the game, and you also deny using it to cheese your opponent off the stage outside of recovery range. If you main Dr. Mario, you're in breach of the Hippocratic Oath and should have your medical license revoked. For Pichu mains, unlike Pikachu, you're a huge risk taker, but you also spend entirely too much time in the lab. Falco mains also spend too much time in the lab. You're fine, dude. Just chill. If you main Marth, it's because you lie to yourself about how good you are at getting tipper damage. You're not, though. If you're a Lucina main, you're actually a Marth main who just stopped lying to themselves. Young Link mains take themselves way too seriously. Ganondorf mains don't want to play the game if they can't take stocks at 25%. If you main Mewtwo, you're just a good player. No gimmicks, you're actually just a natural talent. If you main Roy, it's because you took losing him in Brawl personally, so you rep him for posterity's sake. If you main Chrom, it's only going to be for like another week, and then you'll change mains to one of the other sword fighters. If you main Mr. Game & Watch, I assume if given a steak and a straw, you could drink it like a liquid because you really suck. If you main Meta Knight, it's only in the sense that he's your favorite character. You ironically don't follow the meta. If you main Pit, I assume it's because you haven't really compared him properly to Dark Pit, who is just better. If you main Dark Pit, you win, almost half the time. If you main Zero Suit Samus, your favorite part of Metroid is the plot. If you main Wario, you definitely don't take yourself seriously at all. If you main Snake, you blow yourself up a lot. If you main Ike, your favorite move is his neutral air, and you never use Eruption. If you main Pokemon Trainer, you actually just main Ivysaur. If you main Diddy Kong, you live and breathe memes. If you main Lucas, it's because you're even more lethal with Ness, but you're merciful. Thank you. If you main Sonic, it's because you think your heart will explode if you stop moving, even if you're not actually doing anything. If you main King DDD, I assume you're a very casual player, and you chose this fighter because it's a penguin with a rocket hammer. If you're an Olimar main, you're the most competitive player who loses more often than not. If you main Lucario, I'm not going to say you're a furry. But I'm also not going to say you aren't. If you main Rob, you probably prefer doing team battles with a teammate also using Rob. If you main Toon Link, I assume you're a very mature player who doesn't need to win in order to have fun. If you're a Wolf main, despite whether it's true or not, you will loudly die on a hill explaining how your main is not an Echo Fighter of Fox. If you main Villager, you enjoy hurting people. If you main Mega Man, your favorite thing to do is spam forward smash and dash attack. If you main Wii Fit Trainer, you're probably grossly out of shape, and the irony is completely lost on you. If you main Rosalina and Luma, you're just excellent at multitasking. I envy you. If you main Little Mac, you're afraid to go off stage, even if you're using a fighter with a broken recovery. If you main Greninja, you have on more than one occasion taken your own stock by using Substitute. If you main Mii Brawler, you have a lot of strong opinions about who should be added as a fighter in Smash. If you main Mii Sword Fighter, you simply are hard to please. If you main Mii Gunner, you should find a psychologist to help talk out your issues with distancing people. You can't be Palutena mains don't actually know that you are in fact allowed to play the game for fun. If you main Pac-Man, you're probably over 50. If you main Robin, even if you take a stock accidentally, you feel like the highest IQ player in the whole game. You're not though. If you main Shulk, it's because you're obsessed with Xenoblade Chronicles. Also, stop telling me I should play it sometime. If you main Bowser Jr., your favorite move is to use the exploding clown car in your recovery. Gets him every time, right? If you main Duck Hunt, then you must know something I don't. What's so good about this fighter? If you main Ryu, it's because you already knew how to do his button inputs from years of playing Street Fighter. If you're a Ken main, you chose him over Ryu for the same reason you did in Street Fighter. If you main Cloud, then I'm sorry, but you're a weeb. If you main Corrin, you think of it as your little secret, don't you? No one can ever know their potential. It's just our secret. I won't tell anyone. If you main Bayonetta, it's because she was broken in Smash 4 and you're just loyal to that booty. If you main Inkling, then Splatoon is actually your favorite Nintendo game, and you can only play for like another hour because you probably have school in the morning. If you main Ridley, your favorite move is Space Pirate Rush. And it shows. If you main Simon, your favorite Castlevania game was probably the original or Simon's Quest. If you main Richter, your favorite Castlevania game was probably Rondo of Blood or Symphony of the Night. If you main King K. Rool, this is probably your first Smash game and you rely heavily on his broken recovery. If you main Isabelle, you're the most annoying player in the entire game. If you main Incineroar, your favorite movie is probably Anchorman and you quote it constantly. If your main is Piranha Plant, then you probably make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with the condiments on the outside of the sandwich. If your main is Joker, you're probably trying to be MKLeo, and you're not actually suited to using this fighter at all. If you main Hero, then you're allergic to using any fighter who doesn't come with a gimmicky move pool. If you main Banjo and Kazooie, you probably win tournaments without even practicing. If you main Terry, you straight up have more time and patience than I do. Can't get my head around this one. If you main Byleth, I bet you own an obscure pet, like a scorpion, or a squirrel. It doesn't have to be either of those, but comment if I'm right. If you main Min Min, I just assume you're a very open-minded player who is fully accepting of other people's choices. If you main Steve from Minecraft, I assume you're 10 years old and literally only play for fun. If you main Sephiroth, I assume you're 10 years old and lack the emotional maturity for competitive gaming, and it shows. If you main Pyra and Mithra, you like waifus. If you main Kazuya, losing is strictly not allowed, and neither is having fun. If you main Sora from Kingdom Hearts, you play well and you play for fun. You are possibly the best person to play with. This has been my personal assumptions of you based on your main in Smash Ultimate. If you enjoyed this content today, then please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Find the bell icon and hit it so you don't have to miss out on future uploads. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Your every view, like, sub, comment, all of it helps this small little channel become something really worth talking about. Thank you very much, and I hope you continue watching in the next video.